Hello, everybody, and welcome to Drake at Access TV's coverage of Merrimack Valley Conference baseball. Today, the Drake at Middies host the Tewksbury Redmen. It is not the warmest of days, but a nice day out nonetheless because it's dry. And we are at Drake at High School at the Ryan Sayer Memorial Field. Ryan, of course, would have been a member of the class of 1999 from Drake at High School. Died tragically in an automobile accident, and then they dedicated this field to him in 2010. So a fitting tribute to a previous player who did play baseball. But we're here at Drake at High School, and it's a bit breezy today, and that gives us a chance to talk a little bit about today's weather conditions. The temperature is about 59 degrees, mostly cloudy, dew point's about 48, and the wind is about 5 miles per hour, but then it gusts up to 15. And believe the wind seems to be blowing out a little bit. It's going to get a little colder later. This game started at 4 p.m. and in about an hour it'll drop to about 56. The winds will remain the same, and about 6 o'clock it'll drop yet a few more degrees. We should be dry, but rain moves in tonight. And with that, we are ready for our first batter. Up first for the Tewksbury Redmen is Tyler Wilson. He's the left fielder. Tyler's a junior. On the mound for the Drake at Middies is Sean Nugent, a senior, comes in with a record of 1-0. First pitches are called strike, and we're underway. The umpires today behind the plate is Ted Houlihan, and calling the bases is Dennis Hansberry. Second pitch is up high, taken for ball one, counts 1-1. So the Drake at Middies have had a pretty successful season so far. They come in with a record overall of 2-2. Tewksbury comes in at 0-5 so far this season. That pitch is across the knees, and that puts the count at 1-2 now to Tewksbury's leadoff hitter, Tyler Wilson. Nugent looks and gets the sign. The 1-2 pitch, a little bit low and outside, evening the count at 2-2. Doing the catching for the Middies is co-captain Tom Crowley. Here comes the 2-2. Foul tipped into the mitt, and it's a strikeout. So good way to start things off for the Drake at Middies and Sean Nugent. And that'll bring up the second batter for Tewksbury, number 10, Cameron Legvold. He's the center fielder. He's a junior. First pitch right down the heart of the plate for strike one. We do get peeks of the sun from time to time today. And like I said, as long as it's dry, we're happy, because this was a little bit of a delayed spring season because of some wet weather. And that second one's right down the heart of the plate. So quickly, Nugent is up 0-2 on Cameron Legvold. Probably won't be anything too good. Here's the 0-2. And the changeup pitch down a bit low, but he got him swinging. And Sean Nugent has struck out the first two batters he has faced. So 2 outs here early in the top of the first inning. That'll bring the number 3 hitter, Nathan L. Nathan is the first baseman. He's a junior. First pitch misses just a bit for ball one. The head coach for the Drake at Middies is Steve Talbot. He's in his second year as the head varsity coach. And the head coach for the Tewksbury Redmen is Kirk Monblow. There's a swing and a miss for strike one, 1-1. This is school vacation week. We're kind of expecting that maybe they'd play this game a little earlier in the day, but it's the typical 4 o'clock start. There's a swing and a miss, so Sean Nugent is up 1-2 now against the batter, Nathan L. Nugent gets his sign, he sets, and the 1-2. And that's low in the dirt, 4 ball. That'll even the count up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Very promising season. It's kind of a season where a lot is expected because this Drake at Middy baseball team is loaded with seniors. And they're hoping for some good success this year. That ball's up high, and that'll put the count full now, 3 balls and 2 strikes to Nathan L. Again, Tewksbury looking for their first win. They come in at 0-5 on the season so far, and the Middies are at 2-2. Middies had a win in our first TV game a little while ago. It's fouled off. Middy's had a nice win against the Haverhill Hillies in DATV's first televised game.
Hey, win it right here, Nuge. Win it right here.
Sean Nugent, the senior, again comes in with a 1-0 record so far in this young season. That ball's inside, and Nugent loses the number 3 hitter to a walk. So Nathan L. will take first base. And that'll bring up the cleanup hitter, Chad Oliveira, the third baseman. Chad's a senior. First pitch is up high as the catcher takes a peek down at first base. Tom Crowley keeping an eye over at first. Richie Glynn, the first baseman for the Middies, holding Nathan L. on. The pitch, foul back. That'll even the count. 1 ball, 1 strike. Again, we mentioned the Tewksbury Redmond head coach is Kirk Momblow, and he's assisted by Mike Garapi and Scott Callanan. And the runner fakes, and it looks like a fair ball right in front of the plate, and the quick throw down to first base, and that'll do it for the top half of the first inning. So after half inning here at Ryan Sayer Field in Dracut, we have no score. And we are getting set for the bottom half of the first inning. We're scoreless here at Ryan Sayer Field at Dracut Senior High School. Dracut Middies hosting the Tewksbury Redmen. Tewksbury first 2 batters were retired by strikeouts by Dracut's Sean Nugent. Gave up a walk, but then was able to get the number 4 hitter. And the first batter up taking a ball is number 13, Fred Kozulski. He's the senior and playing center field today. Batting from the left side. On the mound, Travis McMurdo for the Tewksbury Redmen. Doing the catching, Dominic Jolly. And that one misses. So Fred Kozulski up in the count early, 2-0. McMurdo looking for a sign. He sets the 2-0. There's a ground ball, hit weakly right back to the pitcher. He'll take his time and underhand it right to first base for the easy put out. And the first batter retired for Dracut. That'll bring up the number 2 hitter for the Middies, Joe Donnelly. Joe's a junior, and he is the second baseman. Also batting from the left side. Again, the Dracut Middies head coach is Steve Talbot in his second year at head coach. And his assistant coach here on the varsity level is Tim Ganu. There's a fly ball to left field. Left fielder is right over against the line, makes the catch just in fair territory. That's the left fielder Tyler Wilson for the putout. And quickly we have 2 outs here in the bottom of the first inning. That'll bring up the number 3 hitter for the Dracut Middies, their co-captain, Tom Crowley. Tom's a senior, he's the catcher. Tom obviously batting from the right side. After 2 lefties start things off for the Middies, he takes a call, strike 1 from Travis McMurdo. Again, calling balls and strikes behind the plate today is Ted Houlihan, and watching the bases is Dennis Hansberry, our umpiring crew. The 0-1, fly ball to the right side, not hit that deeply, but going toward the foul line, and that's going to be a fair ball, drops in. It's going to be extra bases. Rounding second base for a moment, but holding is Tom Crowley. So with 2 outs, the Dracut Middies try to get something going as Crowley gets a 2-out double to right field, just in fair territory, dropped in. The right fielder for Tewksbury, Ryan Morris, couldn't quite get over to the ball. And with 2 down and a runner at second base in scoring position, that'll bring up the cleanup hitter for the Dracut Middies, number 3, Richie Glynn, the senior first baseman. Runner goes, and he's going to be in safely. The throw gets by the third baseman, and the left fielder makes a little misstep and in to score to give Dracut an early 1-0 lead is Tom Crowley. So Tom Crowley took off from second base, drew the through. He would have beaten the throw. He was in, but then the third baseman for the Redmen, Chad Oliveira, let that ball get by him into short left field, and that allowed Crowley to score easily to put the Middies up 1-0, as you could see on that replay just a moment ago. So there are 2 outs, and here is the throw, or the steal of third base, and then when the ball got by, Crowley had no trouble coming in and scoring that first run. So Middies are up 1-0 here in the bottom of the first inning. The count 2 balls and no strikes. Richie Glynn. There's a call, strike across the knees. So that'll put the count, and excuse me, that was 3 balls. So it's 3 balls and 1 strike now, the count to Richie Glynn with 2 outs. The 3-1, swing and a miss for strike 2. So that puts the count full now, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Waiting on deck for the Dracut Middies, co-captain Daniel Gasick would be next. You can really hear that wind whistling across our microphone. That ball's in the dirt, and drawing the 2-out walk, Richie Glynn gives Dracut their second base runner. And with a runner on first base and still 2 outs, that brings up the number 5 hitter, Daniel Gasick. Daniel's the shortstop, he's a senior, and again, he's co-captain along with Tom Crowley. Quick throw to first base. No problem there. First baseman Nathan L. holding the runner on, Richie Glynn. Another quick throw over. Tim Dano is over there trying to make sure he gets keeps Glynn on his toes. There's a ball. Travis McMurdo sets, and the pitch very high for a ball. So that'll put the count at 2 balls and no strikes. If you're just joining us, we're in the bottom of the first inning. Dracut is hosting Tewksbury in varsity baseball action. Dracut with an early 1-0 lead here in the bottom of the first, 2 outs and a runner on first. Batter is Daniel Gasick. The set, the pitch fouled up, and there was a quick chance. It was a tough one for the catcher to handle. He would have had to have been up alert and find that ball immediately, but not the case there, so just a foul ball. Two balls, 1 strike, the count right now to Dan Gasick. McMurdo looks in, gets a sign from Jolly. He sets, runner goes, 2-1 pitch. It's a changeup, going to be a tough ball to throw him out on, and it gets by the second baseman covering, but no advance by the runner. So Richie Glynn gets the steal over at second base, gets himself in a scoring position. Let's see what they called. I don't think the scoreboard has the count up to date. 2-2, so that was a call strike. So another Midi in scoring position here, threatening with 2 outs and a 1-0 lead in the bottom of the first. Little cat and mouse between the shortstop and Glynn. Ground ball hit to the left side. It's a fair ball. Long throw across, and he gets him. Got him by about a half step, so good hustle up the first base line by Dan Gasick, but just gets thrown out by the third baseman, Chad Oliveira. So the Drake Middies make a little bit of noise in the bottom of the first inning, and after 1, it is Drake at 1 and Tewksbury nothing. So we get set for action the top half of the second inning. Drake it with a 1-0 lead over the Tewksbury Redmen. I'm Gary Muse, and the DATV sports crew is here today. Our director is Mike Dobbs. On replay is Nathan Vizina. Nathan Corum is doing graphics today. And then on camera today we have Tyler Massey. And we'll hold that for a second as there's a quick little pop-up into short right field by the leadoff hitter, number 3 for the Tewksbury Redmen, Ryan Morris. That'll bring up Matthew Perron, the shortstop, who's a sophomore, with 1 out. Mike Poitras also on camera, as well as Ian Dobbs. So DATV happy to bring you Drake at Midi baseball action today. And it was a little bit windy. The forecast we gave had gusts up around 15 miles per hour, and it seems like that's the norm as opposed to being kind of calm. But the sun is shining, which was not the case earlier. It was a bit more overcast, so we'll take the sun. So with 1 down quickly here in the top of the second inning, batter is Matthew Perron. He takes that one right across the heart of the plate for a strike. On the mound for the Drake and Middies, Sean Nugent. Pitch from Nugent. There's a line drive, but it stays up for the center fielder for the easy put out. Taking care of that with no problem is Fred Kozalski. And just like that, the first 2 hitters for the Redmen are retired here in the top of the second inning. Fly ball to right field and a fly ball to center field. That'll bring up Christopher Blimberg, the DH. First pitch taken for a strike. Blimberg, the number 7 hitter in the lineup for Tewksbury. That ball's down in the dirt. That leaving the count up at 1 ball and 1 strike. So again, this Drake and Midi team is loaded with seniors. And it's kind of one of those ideal situations where you had a lot of these players come up through the young leagues, of Little League and stay together, and I'm sure consider quite a core. There's a call strike. Puts the count now 2 balls and 2 strikes to Christopher Blimberg. The set by Nugent. The 2-2 up high, and that'll load the count up full 3 balls and 2 strikes. Full count pitch. And that's taken for a call. 3rd strike on the outside corner, and Sean Nugent gets out of any potential trouble as he retires all 3 hitters, 1, 2, 3 here in the top of the second inning. So after 1.5, the score remains Drake at 1 and Tewksbury nothing. And we are set now for the bottom of the second inning as Drake comes up here in the bottom of the second. It'll be the number 6, 7, and 8 hitters. Leading off for the Middies, Kyle Hould, junior 3rd baseman. Travis McMurdo on the mound for the Tewksbury Redmen. Looks and gets the sign from Dominic Jolly, and the pitch. Change-up pitch is in there for strike 1. So Hould is a junior in a lineup sort of littered with seniors. Again, Drake has a large senior contingent. There's a ground ball to the left side. Third baseman's got it on one hop. Quick throw over, an easy put out for the play. Score that 5-3. And with one down here in the bottom of the second, that'll bring up number 21, Derek Theriault. He is the DH. He's a senior. Another changeup to start things off, but that misses just a bit for ball one. Again, McMurdo, who's on the mound for the Redmen, comes in, it's early in the season, comes in with a record of no wins and 1 loss. Looking to change that, but he is down in the game 1-0 at the moment. The 1-0 pitch misses, and Theriault is up 2-0 in the count. This is a new and improved field. As many people know, the high school went through a reconstruction phase a few years ago, adding a brand new field house and other parts of the building. Swing and a miss up high. And they also restructured the baseball field just a little bit. 2-1 the count to Theriault. Beautiful brand new scoreboard for this season out in left center field. The set, and here's the 2-1 pitch. That changeup is in the dirt, short of the plate. That'll even the count up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. The set by McMurdo. The pitch. That's low and away. And the middies will have another base runner, as drawing the walk is Derek Theriault. And with one down and a runner aboard, that'll bring up the number 8 hitter, Tyler Roberge. Tyler hitting from the left side. He's the senior right fielder. Where's number 4? Nathan L., the first baseman for the Redmen, holding the runner aboard. Theriault takes his lead, held on at first base. McMurdo looks in for the sign, sets, pitch, changeup. And there's a called strike. Starts off a lot of the hitters with that changeup pitch. So he's up early in the count, no balls and a strike. Ball's up high. Good eye by Tyler Roberge, laying off that pitch. Evens the count up at 1 ball and a strike. Theriault takes his lead. McMurdo took a quick check over his shoulder, and he's going to make a soft toss over to first base. Theriault diving back in, but no problem there. Again, we're in the bottom of the second inning. Drake gets up 1-0. Runner goes. It's a changeup. Good pitch to steal on, and down and easily into second base with the steal is Theriault into scoring position. Time is called. So Derek Theriault got a nice jump, and he picked the right pitch, because that changeup pitch doesn't get to the plate, obviously, too quickly, and it gave him just that extra advantage. And now the middies, with just 1 down here in the bottom of the second, have a runner in scoring position in Derek Theriault. Tyler Roberge, with a 2-1 count, has a chance with a runner in scoring position to add some insurance to the Drake lead. The set, ground ball to the right side. That'll advance the runner to third. Be an easy play to first for the out, and nice job by Tyler Oberge, hitting the ball to the right side, allowing the runner to advance over to third base. There's a look at the steal by Theriot just a moment ago. And that'll bring up the number 9 hitter, Ryan Talbot. Takes the first pitch for a strike. Ryan's a junior left fielder. He is the son of head coach Steve Talbot. And with 2 down here in the bottom of the second and a runner 90 feet away at third base, the Middies have a chance for some insurance. See if Talbot can put a ball in play. The ball down a bit. Dominic Jolly, the catcher, keeps it from getting by. Definitely not a situation where you want to pass ball with the runner at third base. So that evens up the count, 1 ball, 1 strike, as Theriot takes his lead over third. McMurdo with the changeup, and that's fouled back. So now McMurdo is up in the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes to Ryan Talbot. Travis McMurdo stares in, waits for the sign from Dominic Jolly. He sets the 1-2. Changeup pitch is called for strike 3 on the outside part of the plate, and McMurdo gets out of trouble as Drake threatens here in the bottom of the second, but Drake does not score. And after 2 complete, your score is the Drake Middies 1 and the Tewksbury Redmen 0. So we head to the top of the inning number 3 with the Drake Middies up 1-0. Leading off is the catcher, Dominic Jolly, and he goes right after the first pitch. It's a ground ball to Gasick at short, and Gasick easily fires over for the quick putout, 6-3. And with 1 quick out, that'll bring up the number 9 hitter for the Tewksbury Redmen. It's the second baseman, freshman Nolan Timmons. Apparently Timmons was brought up for this game. He fouls the first pitch off to the right side and out of play. So that's pretty good that they're giving the freshman a chance to start in today's varsity baseball game. Sean Nugent sets the 0-1, and that pitch gets away. That'll even the count up at 1 ball and a strike. Here's the 1-1. Tries to check his swing, does he? And he does. So held up, plate umpire Ted Houlihan checked off with Dennis Hansberry, who was in pretty good position, and Hansberry said no, he did not go. So that'll put the count 2 balls and 1 strike, and the pitch from Nugent. There's a soft fly ball, could be trouble. It's going to drop in to short center field. And nice job as the freshman gets the first hit of the day for the Tewksbury Redmen. So Nolan Timmons, the number 9 hitter, is aboard. And that'll bring the top of the lineup back around. Tyler Wilson, the left fielder. He struck out swinging back in the first inning. Takes the first pitch for a ball. So Tewksbury trying to get a little something going here early in this top of the 3rd inning. There's a call strike. Evens the count up at 1 ball, 1 strike. So 1 down with the runner at first base. We'll see if Sean Nugent is too worried about the runner. There's a changeup pitch. It's a ground ball. It's going to have to hurry. And quick throw over to second base. Gasick gets the force out at second base, retiring Nolan Timmons. So reaching on the fielder's choice, Tyler Wilson. So with 2 down now here in the top of the second inning and a runner at first base, the number 2 hitter, Cameron Legvold. Cameron struck out swinging back in the first inning. That pitch is low in the dirt for ball 1. There's the tail end of that ground ball to the left side. You can see Gasick scoops it up and makes the quick play for the force out at second base, cutting down that lead runner. Runner goes, and a little bit of a delay by the catcher, and there's not going to be a play at second base. So Drake catcher Tom Crowley got a little bit tied up. He had to double pump before he could make the throw. It was a pretty decent jump, though, by the runner. So Tyler Wilson gets himself a stolen base. And with 2 down, the Tewksbury Redmen have their first runner in scoring position. There's a call strike. So Cameron Legvold has a runner in scoring position, chance to do something, as that's the tying run, potential tying run over at second base. There's a line drive right to the second baseman, and taking out no problem Joe Donnelly, and that ends the threat for the Tewksbury Redmen. So Tewksbury makes a little bit of a noise. They do get a runner in scoring position, but they cannot score. And after 2.5 innings of play here at Ryan Sayre Field, the Drake Middies continue to lead 1-0. Set now to bring you the action here in the bottom of the third inning, as the Drake Middies still hold on to a slim 1-0 lead. Leading off for the Middies is number 13, the leadoff hitter, Fred Kozolski. Kozolski grounded out to the pitcher back in the first inning, looking for his first hit of the day. He's the center fielder. He's a senior. Travis McMurdo still on the mound for the Tewksbury Redmen. There's a slow chopper. It's going to be trouble. The pitcher's going to have to make a quick play, and he can't do it. So I'm pretty confident they'll score that a base hit, because it was perfectly placed, almost kind of like a bunt, where it was placed in such a way that the pitcher had the only play on it, and he couldn't do anything with it. So Drakett's leadoff hitter of the inning, the number 1 hitter in the lineup, Fred Kozolski, is aboard. That'll bring up the number 2 hitter, Joe Donnelly. Donnelly flew out to left field his first time up. And McMurdo holds off. So Drakett wastes no time. There's a look, and you could see it just gets, even if he had made that play, I do not think he could have gotten the runner. So technically you could almost look at that as a potential error, but there was no chance, and I think that's what it all comes down to. I don't know what the official scoring is on that, but I'm going to mark it down as a hit. So we have the count at 1 ball, no strikes now to Joe Donnelly. Quick throw over to first, almost got away from the first baseman. Nathan L., the first baseman, had to lunge, sort of leap up to keep that ball from getting away. Runner takes his lead. The 1-0 pitch, runner goes. It's a high pitch, a bit outside, and diving down and just inside and under the tag attempt is Drakett's Fred Kozolski with the stolen base. So Drakett now in an ideal position, no outs. Bottom of the third, runner in scoring position, and Fred Kozolski with Joe Donnelly behind the plate. Drakett up 1-0 here in the bottom of the third inning. That pitch is up high. And there goes the pretty good jump there by Kozolski, and you'll see he just gets in. Umpire screened us out a little bit on that replay, but he's in for the steal. Drakett with a couple of stolen bases today. And a 3-0 count now to Joe Donnelly. Kozolski takes his lead, little cat and mouse with the shortstop, and there will be a soft toss to the shortstop, but Fred Kozolski was quickly back to second, no issues there. Drakett trying to add to a 1-0 lead here in the bottom of the third inning. Runner at second base with nobody out. The 3-0. very high for ball 4. So, Middies now with runners at first and second, nobody out. That'll bring up the number 3 hitter, Tom Crowley. Crowley doubled back in the first inning. Eventually came around to score the only run of today's game. Very good position. Middies looking to add insurance as they threaten here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. McMurdo sets. Change-up pitch is in there for a call strike. 0-1.
Hey, Tom.
Runners take their leads for Drake. The set pitch is up high for a ball. That'll even the count up at a ball and a strike. McMurdo checks in. He's in a bit of hot water right now with runners at first, second. Runner from second and first go. Both runners go. It's a pop-up in foul territory. First baseman's calling for it, and he drops it in foul territory. So, tough break there for Tewksbury's Nathan L., as he really was in position for what should have been an easy put-out, but no immediate harm as the ball was in foul territory. And that'll put the count at 1 ball and 2 strikes. So McMurdo looks in and gets his sign from Jolly. Runners aboard. Fred Kozolski at second, Joe Donnelly at first. There's a fly ball hit very well to left center field, and it's going to drop in there. Diving attempt by the center fielder, but it got off his glove. It's going to score at least 1 run. And easily sliding into, 2 runs there, sliding into third base with a sliding triple is Drakett's Tom Crowley. So Drakitt scores 2 runs and is now up 3-0 here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. And there's a quick shot at, really well hit to left center field. Left fielder made a lunge attempt at, a little bit of a dive there just off his glove, and the left fielder wasn't prepared for that ball to ricochet off to the left, and that may have played a role in at least letting Crowley make it all the way to third base. You know, if he had been able to contain that, it may have been held to a double. I think both runs would have scored anyway. So the coach for the Tewksbury Redmen out to try to settle his pitcher down. Kirk Monblow, the head coach for Tewksbury, chatting with Travis McMurdo, the starting pitcher for Tewksbury, as we still have nobody out. Runner at third base, Drakitt up 3-0, so threatening. And at the plate now is Richie Glynn. Richie drew a walk his first time up, checks his swing, but it's a call strike. So Richie Glynn, chance to continue Drakett's offensive drive here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. 2 runs are in. Drakett's up 3-0, no outs, and a potential insurance run at third base. That changeup pitch is a bit up high and in for a ball. Tom Crowley, the runner aboard at third base, with that triple to drive in 2 runs just a moment ago. McMurdo with the 1-1. Another changeup, gets away from the catcher momentarily, but it stayed at his feet, so no chance for Crowley to advance. Again, the Drakitt Middies came into this game today with a record of 2-2. Tewksbury 0-5. There's a ground ball to the right side. The first baseman's going to go home, and he's safe. So Tom Crowley comes in and scores Drakett's 4th run It was the right play for the first baseman to try to cut down that run, but the problem was his throw was high. If the throw was down lower, may have had a chance to get him. So aboard now at first base, Richie Glynn on a fielder's choice. And in to score the Middies' fourth run was Tom Crowley. Quick, well, soft throw over to first base, I was going to say. Up now for the Drake and Middies is the number 5 hitter, number 15, Daniel Gasick, the shortstop, senior. Daniel grounded out to the third baseman his first time up. Still nobody out here in the bottom of the third inning. Drake it with 3 runs in, up 4-0, and a runner at first base. That pitch misses for a ball. So the count now to Gasick is 2 balls and no strikes, as it's been a tough inning for Travis McMurdo and the Redmen. Soft throw over to first base. Nathan L. holding at first. And the runner, Richie Glynn. Glynn takes his lead. The 2-0 pitch to Gasick. It's up high for ball 3. And this is really where you don't want to walk, because a walk will put another runner in scoring position. So McMurdo just has to settle himself down. And that pitch misses. Looks like it's probably a little bit high, and it's ball 4. So drawing the walk for the Middies, Daniel Gasick. Still nobody out. Richie Glynn advances to second base, and now the Middies have 2 aboard with nobody out. That'll bring up Kyle Houle. Kyle, the third baseman. Kyle grounded out 5-3 his first time up back in the second inning. Big inning for the Drake and Middies so far here in the bottom of the third. McMurdo looks around, but not really worried. At this point, he's got to go after that batter at this point. There's a bunt. First baseman will take it, takes a quick look at third, and it's going to get past the first baseman. This is going to score at least 1 run, probably 2 runs, and it will score 2 more runs. Runner advances to third, and that gets bobbled at third base, but he had that beat anyway. So what started off as a sacrifice attempt ends up exactly that, but he got 2 runs in. So Drake it is hammering away at Tewksbury here in the bottom of the third inning. They have scored 5 runs this inning. They're now up 6-0 here in the bottom of the third. Still nobody out. And Derek Theriot's up. He flies to center field. And just taken in by the center fielder, tagging up and easily scoring on that play on the sacrifice fly is Kyle Houle. Nice play by the center fielder to stay with that. Cameron Legvold, the center fielder for the Tewksbury Redmen. Take another look at that. Oh, I'm sorry, that's the bunt attempt. And you can see it was a sacrifice attempt all the way, and then an error on the throw to the first baseman. And that pitch is up high to Tyler Roberge. Tyler, the right fielder, grounded up to the second baseman back in the second inning. So for the first time in a while, there's nobody aboard. That's because everybody's scored. So nobody out, nobody aboard. I'm sorry, the one out. That was a sac fly just now. but a lot of damage done by the Drake Middies here in the bottom of the third inning.
Hey, Rob. He's right here, Rob. Hey, four. Come on, Robbie. Hey, Doug. Hey, four, Rob.
Ground ball hit softly up the middle. Second baseman makes a nice play, and digging it out at first base for the out is the first baseman, number 7, Nathan L. I think McMurdo was had a little bit of wishful thinking. He started to head back to the bench, but that was only the second out. It's been that kind of inning. So 2 down with the bases clear, and that will bring up the number 9 hitter, Ryan Talbot. Talbot got caught looking, struck out back in the second inning. First pitch is taken across the knees for a strike. That pitch just misses for a ball, evening the count at 1-1. Here's the 1-1 pitch to Talbot. That's low and away for ball 2. 2 balls and a strike now to Ryan Talbot, the junior left fielder for Drake. On deck for the Middies would be the leadoff hitter, Fred Kozalski. There's the new scoreboard. You can see the way the innings have laid out. As Drake is up 7-0. Ground ball to the right side. It's going to get through into right field for a base hit. So a lot of fun with 2 outs as Ryan Talbot is aboard. That'll bring up the top of the order, Fred Kozalski. And Kozalski got all the fun started this inning. He started this inning off with a single, eventually came around to score the second run for the Drake Middies. That is a call strike. So 6 runs in here in the third inning. 7-0 Drake Middies. That pitch is high and away. That evens up the count at 1-1. Throw over to first base, diving back in safely is Talbot. Fred Kozalski looks at the 1-1, fouls it off. So McMurdo up in the count now, 1 ball and 2 strikes. 2 down in the bottom of the third inning. McMurdo looks in, gets that sign from Dominic Jolly. Sets the 1-2, is bounced in the dirt, and that's going to allow the runner to advance easily. So Talbot into second base on the wild pitch. Not what Travis McMurdo and Tewksbury needed at this point. Been a very tough inning for the Redmen. McMurdo delivers the 2-2, swing and a miss in the dirt, and the catcher will just throw it up to first, and mercifully, this third inning, this bottom of the third inning finally ends, but not before the Drake Middies go through the entire lineup around and to the leadoff hitter again and score 6 runs to take a commanding 7-0 lead after 3. So we're set now for inning number 4, top of the 4th inning. Drake and Middy's up 7-0 over the Tewksbury Redmen in this Merrimack Valley Conference boys varsity baseball game. There's a swing and a foul ball to the left side on the first pitch, as leading off the inning is the number 3 hitter Nathan L. for the Redmen. Nathan drew a walk back in the first inning. Fastball's inside just a bit. And that'll even the count up at 1 ball and 1 strike. Fouled off, so Sean Nugent up now 1 ball and 2 strikes on the leadoff hitter here in the top of the 4th inning, Nathan L. The set and the 1-2. The changeup pitch is called, 3rd strike. Looked pretty good from here. And caught looking, Nathan L. to start things off here in the 4th inning for Tewksbury. And with 1 down, that'll bring up the number 4 hitter, Chad Oliveira, the 3rd baseman. The first pitch is bounced in the dirt for ball 1. There's another look at that call, 3rd strike. And a little bit of a movement on that ball. Curveball drops down and in. Had the batter fooled. Swing and a miss for a strike. That evens the count up at 1 ball and a strike. In his first at-bat, Oliveira grounded out to the catcher. 2-3. There's a well-hit ball right to the shortstop, Dan Gasick. Fires across the diamond for the out, and quickly there are 2 down here in the top of the 4th inning. Score that 6-3. And with 2 down, that'll bring up the Redmond captain, Ryan Morris. Morris is the right fielder. He's a senior. He flew out to right field his first time up. Ground ball chopped foul to the left side. Sun is shining very brightly now. Looked a lot more ominous in pregame during our setup and even at the beginning of the game. A lot of clouds, but the sun is ruling right now as that pitch is called a strike. So nothing into the count now to Ryan Morris. Sean Nugent sets, delivers the 0-2, and it's just a bit low for a ball. 1-2 will be the count. It was a tight game through the first couple of innings. Drake it with a 1-0 lead. There's a call strike as that drops in again with that little changeup. Kind of just like the pitch that got the previous batter, Nathan L., and caught looking is Ryan Morris. And the Tewksbury Redmen go down 1-2-3 here in the top of the 4th inning. And after 3.5 innings at Ryan Sayer Field, the Drake and Middies are still up 7-0. We set now for action here in the bottom of inning number 4. The Drake and Middies with a huge lead, 7-0 over the Tewksbury Redmen. Leading off for the Middies here in the bottom of the 4th is the number 2 hitter, Joe Donnelly. Joe's the junior 2nd baseman. Joe is 0 for 1. He flied out to left field in the first inning, but then walked and came in to score a run in the big Middie 3rd inning. This is a call strike. Evens the count up at 1 ball and 1 strike. Joe was the 2nd of 6 middies to come in and touch the plate in the bottom of the 3rd inning. There's a ground ball to the right side. 2nd baseman's there. Up with it, Nolan Timmons, and tosses over to Nathan L. at first base for the out. So Travis McMurdo, the Redmond pitcher, was able to retire the leadoff hitter here in the bottom of the fourth inning. And with one down, that'll bring up the number 3 hitter, Tom Crowley. Tom's the senior catcher for the Middies. He walked and scored in the first inning, tripled and scored in the third inning. Crowley's triple in the third inning brought in Kozalski and Donnelly to put Drake it up at the time 4-0. Or 3-0 at the time, rather. Then he came in and made it 4-0 when he scored himself. Here's the pitch. It's low and away for a ball. That'll even up the count, 1 ball, 1 strike to Tom Crowley. Again, the Drake head coach is Steve Talbot, and he's over at third base coaching. And then right there, that was Tim Danu, who's the first base coach. Fly ball, not hit too hard to right field. Right field has to hurry, and he's not going to make the play. Nice try. Ryan Morse got a glove on it. Hard to tell if it would have ended up being more of a trapped ball had he come away cleanly with it, or if it would have been a catch. But nevertheless, it's a base hit with 1 down for Tom Crowley. And with 1 down and a runner aboard, Richie Glynn, the number 4 hitter. Throw over to first base, but Crowley's back with no problem. There's a look at the tail end of that fly ball. See, it's hard to tell there. He may have had the grab if he had kept it, but of course the force of that glove coming down the ground jogged that ball loose. So the base hit for Tom Crowley. Richie Glynn, the cleanup hitter, senior first baseman. He walked and then reached on a fielder's choice back in the third inning and scored as part of that Middie run parade. Soft toss back over to first base, but no problem as Crowley's back in. Travis McMurdo on the mound and feeling a little bit of that pain as Drake has had a lot of good success, mainly that huge third inning where the Middies scored 6 runs to go up 7-0. That ball is in on the inside corner for a called strike. Drake bench didn't think so. That'll even the count up at a ball and a strike to Richie Glynn. 1 out. Tom Crowley, the runner aboard at first base, and McMurdo steps off. McMurdo gets his sign. He sets the 1-1. Change-up pitch, and it hits the batter. Came in just a little bit inside, and a very soft batter hit that time, but nevertheless, hit batsman and puts the runner aboard at first base, and now runners are at first and second with 1 out. Just a quick look at that. It was a change-up pitch. Got him right off the outside part of the shoulder, but a lot better than had that pitch been a fastball, so looks to be okay. Doesn't seem to have any issues with that. So 2 runners aboard with 1 down here in the bottom of the 4th inning, and Daniel Gasick, the number 5 hitter, is up. Dan grounded out in the first inning to the third baseman, walked and scored a run in the third inning. So Tewksbury pitcher Travis McMurdo had a quick put out for the first batter of this inning, but now he's got 2 runners aboard with 1 out and trailing 7-0.
Let's go, baby! Stay in there! He's front property!
McMurdo looks in, gets the sign from Charlie. Tries to keep an eye on the runners. Both runners with their leads. The pitch, there's a ground ball to the left side. Third baseman's got it. Went to step on third base, and he's going to be safe. He bobbled the ball. So that's clearly an error. Oh, maybe they called him out. I thought they were not going to call him out, but apparently they called him out. And all right, so he is called out, and then he dropped the ball in the transfer. I didn't think they were going to award him with the out that time. So they haven't noted the out on the scoreboard, but they did send. We'll see what happened there. But nevertheless, right now, Kyle Hould is up. So we're going to score that. We're going to score that as a put out by the third baseman unassisted. Still haven't put 2 outs up on the scoreboard. Runners at first and second. You got Dan Gasick at first base, Richie Glynn at second base. Kyle Hould grounded out to the third baseman in the second inning, reached on an error and scored in the third inning. Drake it up 7-0 here in the bottom of the fourth. And pitcher steps off. And now they've got the 2 outs up on the board. So, yeah, so sorry, I was a little presumptuous there. I thought that maybe they wouldn't get the out at third base and we'd be looking at an error, when in actuality, the umpire felt that he had control when he made the force out, unassisted, the third baseman, but then bobbled the ball on a possible attempt to get another runner. Don't know if we would have gotten anybody else, but he definitely made the easy put out on the lead runner. So the count now, 3 balls and no strikes to Kyle Hould with 2 outs and runners at first and second. So Drake it threatens once again here in the bottom of the fourth inning. There's a call strike for 3-1 the count. Daniel Gasick, the runner at first. Richie Glynn, the runner at second. Kyle Hould, the batter. Pitch, and that's going to be up high for a ball. That's going to load up the bases. So Drake it continues to cause headaches for Travis McMurdo, the Tewksbury pitcher. And that's going to draw a visit to the mound by head coach from Tewksbury, Kirk Monblow, and that's going to do it for Travis McMurdo. As McMurdo would have pitched 3 2/3 innings and leaves after a really tough go. Now on the mound for the Tewksbury Redmen is number 22, Braden Nobrega. Braden Nobrega. He's a senior. And he comes into a tough spot with bases loaded, but he does have 2 outs, so he really can focus, go after the batter, and he's going to pitch from the left side, so give the middies a little bit of a different look. So the bases are full of Drake at middies. Richie Glynn, the runner at third base. Daniel Gasick, the runner at second. And Kyle Hould, who just drew the walk, the runner at first base. We're in the bottom of the fourth inning. Drake it up 7-0 here against the Tewksbury Redmen. And the new pitcher in the game, Braden Nobrega, wearing the number 22, senior. So Braden gets set to face his first batter, Derek Thuriel. Derek, the Drake at DH, drew a walk in the second inning and hit a sacrifice fly back in the third inning. Flew out to center field for the sacrifice back in the third, in the big third inning for Drake it. First pitch there was a call strike. Nobrega sets the 0-1. Looked like it was a little bit inside to the batter. He turned away, got fooled. That must have broke back in, and that's a call strike so quickly. Derek Thuriel is down 0-2 in the count as the middies threaten to add more with the bases loaded and 2 outs here in the bottom of the fourth. Nobrega sets the 0-2. That's just a bit low, I believe, for a ball. So that puts the count now 1 ball and 2 strikes to Derek Thuriel. And the catcher out to take a quick talk with his pitcher.
Hey, Derek, what do you say, kid? Hey, Derek!
Norega looks in, stares in. Derek Thuriel sets the 1-2. There's a soft fly ball. Shortstop, second baseman comes over. He had the best angle on it, and he makes the play, but it looked like it could be trouble for a second. Just a little soft little mini fly ball into the short part of the infield, but nevertheless, the Tewksbury Redmen are able to retire the Drake Middies without any further damage. So Nobrega comes in and gets that critical third out and holds Drake to 7 runs. So after 4 complete innings of play here at Ryan Sayre Field, it is the Drake Middies leading 7-0. Top of the 5th inning. Tewksbury will bring Matthew Perron, Christopher Blimberg, and Dominic Jolly to the plate, the scheduled hitters. On the mound for the Drake Middies is Sean Nugent. Nugent came in with a record of 1-0 on this season, where the Middies came in 2-2 on the year. There's a ground ball to the left side. Shortstop, Gasik's got it. Throws to the inside part of first base. No problem. And Drake is able to retire the first batter, Matthew Perron. Daniel Gasik makes a nice clean play. Fires across. So that scores 6-3. And with 1 down, that'll bring up Christopher Blimberg, the DH. First pitch is in there for a ball. Blimberg was caught looking, striking out back in the 2nd inning. Swing and a miss. That'll even the count up at 1 ball, 1 strike. The set by Nugent. The 1-1 is across the knees for a called strike. 1 ball and 2 strikes now the count. Nugent, a fast worker, wastes no time. That pitch is down low for a ball, evens the count up 2-2. Tom Crowley, the catcher, calling signals. The set by Nugent, the 2-2. And that's up high and inside. So that'll put the count full now, 3 balls and 2 strikes to Christopher Blimberg. Again, he's the sophomore DH for the Tewksbury Redmen. We're in the top half of the 5th inning. Drake, it's up 7-0. 1 out. Nobody on. There's a ground ball foul back. Good job by Blimberg to spoil that, stay alive. Another one. So not taking any chances. Don't want to take anything that could potentially be a strike. Nugent sets. Shakes off the first sign, likes the second one. Here's the 3-2. There's a line drive to left field, and perfectly positioned is Drake left fielder Ryan Talbot. Easy put out for the Middie. So 2 quick outs here in the top of the 5th inning. And that'll bring up Dominic Jolly, the catcher. Dominic grounded out to shortstop Gasik for the put out. 6-3 back in the 3rd inning. There's a call strike. The 0-1 cross the knees for strike 2, so Nugent quickly on top, 0-2. Pitcher has to be feeling really good with a huge lead. That one is a bit low for a ball. 1 ball, 2 strikes now the count. Again, our plate umpire, Ted Houlihan, with the calls, balls and strike calls today. That ball is low. That evens the count up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. And the umpire on the bases, Dennis Hansberry. The set by Nugent. That was the 2-2, and count now will be full 3 balls and 2 strikes. Tewksbury desperate to get something going. And that's inside, so Dominic Jolly draws a walk. 2-out walk here in the top of the 5th inning. That'll bring up the number 9 hitter, Nolan Timmons, the freshman, second baseman. Timmons had a single back in the 3rd inning. And that's actually the one hit of the day so far for the Tewksbury Redmen. That'll bring Steve Talbot to the mound to chat with his pitcher, Sean Nugent, along with catcher Crowley. But there's no trouble here. Obviously, just wants to get him settled down and really just have him concentrate on the hitter, throw strikes. So the freshman, Nolan Timmons, steps in. Nugent sets. First pitch is foul back for a strike. Nugent sets the 0-1. There's a base hit into center field for the freshman. Line drive right up the middle, and I'll tell you, no surprise that they brought this freshman up. He looks like could be a real star for this Tewksbury Redmen team, as he's only the freshman, and they'll be able to enjoy his talents for several more years. So with 2 outs, a lot of fun as runners now at first and second. There's a soft fly ball to the second baseman for the out. So the threat is put out. It was the first time that the Redmen had 2 base runners, but it was quickly extinguished as leadoff hitter Tyler Wilson hits a soft sort of half line drive, half fly ball, easily taken care of by the second baseman Joe Donnelly, and that ends what was a potential threat for the Tewksbury Redmen. So we have played 5.5 innings, and in the middle of the 5th inning, your score remains Drake at 7 and Tewksbury nothing. Getting set for action here in the bottom of inning number 5. Drake at middies with a very comfortable 7-0 lead, and leading things off here in the 5th inning is Tyler Robridge, the right fielder. Tyler's a senior. Tyler's looking for his first hit of the day. He's grounded out twice to the second baseman. Takes the first pitch for a called strike. A windy day here at Ryan Sayer Ball Field at Drake Senior High School. And kudos to Ian Dobbs, who is up on top of the press box, a level above me on the exposed rooftop with this wind blowing. Ian on camera along with Mike Poitras, Tyler Massey, and in the truck is Mike Dobbs, Nathan Vizina, and Nathan Corum. Our DATV Sports crew. 1 ball, 2 strikes, the count to Tyler Robridge. Braden Nebrega came in relief in the 4th inning. Delivers the 1-2. That's a bit low for ball. 2 balls and 2 strikes the count. So the starting pitcher for the Tewksbury Redmen, Travis McMurdo, pitched 3 2/3 innings and gave up 7 runs. So he stands to get the loss in this one. Up high, taken for a ball, and that'll put the count full 3 balls and 2 strikes now for Tyler Robridge. On deck is Ryan Talbot for the Drake Middies. Looking in is Nobrega getting his sign from Jolly. He sets the 3-2. Fouled off. Drake Middies under the command of head coach Steve Talbot in his 2nd year. Steve, a Drake Middie himself back in the day. There's a call, 3rd strike, and down on strikes is Tyler Robridge, so 1 out. to start the bottom of the 5th inning. And that'll bring up the number 9 hitter, Ryan Talbot. Steve Talbot also coached at other levels here at Drake High School in baseball before becoming the varsity coach. Changeup pitch is foul back for strike 1. Ryan Talbot was caught looking and got struck out in the 2nd inning and then singled and advanced to second on a wild pitch back in the 3rd inning. But he's still looking for his first hit. Or his second hit, I should say, because I just said he singled, didn't I? That's a ball. So 1 ball, 1 strike the count to Ryan. Ryan's a junior. He's the left fielder today. Looking for his 2nd hit. The set by Braden Nobrega. The pitch. There's a ground ball to the shortstop. He's got it on a hop. Fires over to first base for the out. Matthew Perron makes the play. And there are now 2 middies out here in the bottom of the 5th inning. And that'll bring up the top of the lineup for the Drake middies, Fred Kozalski. Kozalski hitting from the left side. He's the senior center fielder. Kozalski grounded out to the pitcher in the 1st inning, singled and scored back in the 3rd inning. Braden Nobrega trying to keep the middies contained to 7 runs. Change up, popped up in the infield. Shortstop's got the beat on it. He's out and in position, and easily taken in is Matthew Perron for the 3rd out. And for the first time in this game, the Drake middies are retired 1-2-3. So good job by Braden Nobrega to contain the big 7-0 lead. So we've played 5 complete innings, and after 5, it is still Drake it up 7-0. Top half of the 6th inning with Drake at leading 7-0 over the Tewksbury Redmen. Still on the mound for the Drake middies is Sean Nugent. First pitch is in there for a call strike to the number 2 hitter, Cameron Legvold. Fly ball to the right side, not hit very deep. Right fielder for the middies is got the beat. He's under it. Takes it in for the out, Tyler Roberge. No problem there. Previous to that, Legvold had struck out swinging in the 1st inning and lined out to the 2nd baseman in the 3rd inning. Before that, fly ball to right, and that brings up Nathan L. Nathan L. goes after the first pitch, well hit to center field. Back, making the play for the Drake middies, Fred Kozalski. So he had to backpedal back a little bit to get to that, but well hit by Nathan L. L, the junior first baseman, had walked and struck out looking previous to that. And quickly, there are 2 down here in the top of the 6th inning for the Tewksbury Redmen. That'll bring up the cleanup hitter, Chad Oliveira, 3rd baseman. Oliveira was put out 2-3 by the catcher in the 1st inning and grounded out to short in the 4th inning. So he's looking for a hit. Pitches a bit inside for a ball. Sean Nugent cruising along, looking for his 2nd win of the season. There's a soft ground ball right back to the pitcher, and this will be no problem as Nugent will underhand it easily and softly over to first baseman Richie Glenn. And just like that, Tewksbury is retired quickly here in the top half of the 6th inning, 1-2-3. And after 5.5, your score remains Drake at 7 and Tewksbury nothing. So we go to the bottom of the 6th inning now as a new pitcher on the mound for the Tewksbury Redmen, Chad Oliveira. First pitch is a line drive, base hit into right field down the right field line by Drake's Joe Donnelly, and he is into second with an easy stand-up double. So Donnelly wastes no time, down inside fair by probably a few feet inside the right field line, and gets Drake it off quickly to a good start here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Nobody out puts a runner in scoring position. That'll bring it the number 3 hitter, Tom Crowley. Tom Crowley walked back in the 1st inning, tripled in some runs in the 3rd inning, and then singled in the 4th inning. So he's 2 for 2 in the day. A little bit of a changeup, pitches up high. Evens the count up at 1 ball and 1 strike. So Chad Oliveira was the 3rd baseman to start the game for the Tewksbury Redmen. Comes in as their 3rd pitcher of the day. Changeup pitch gets by. This is going to let the runner advance. So that'll probably be scored a wild pitch. And that allows the Drake-it runner, Joe Donnelly, to advance to 3rd base. So Drake-it threatening early here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Nobody out, runner at 3rd. Tom Crowley, the batter, with a 2-1 count. Oliveira sets the 2-1. Fouled off, evens the count 2-2. So Braden Obrego, who had come in relief of Travis McMurdo for the Redmen, came in and pitched 1 1/3 scoreless innings. Fly ball to the right side. Should maybe deep enough for the sack. Let's see. Runner goes from 3rd base. Here comes the throw from right. It's going to be to the 1st base side, and no problem scoring that time is Joe Donnelly. So sacrifice fly ball to right field for Tom Crowley. Getting in, scoring the runner, Joe Donnelly. And with 1 down in the bottom of the 6th inning, Drake-it increases their lead to 8-0. That'll bring up the cleanup hitter, Richie Glynn, the 1st baseman. Glynn walked back in the 1st inning, reached on a fielder's choice and scored in the 3rd, and was hit by a pitch back in the 4th inning to draw a walk. There's a look at Oliveira, the current Tewksbury pitcher. The 0-1. Changeup drops in there for a call strike, and quickly Oliveira's up in the count, 0-2. Richie Glynn faces. There's a ground ball hit sharply to the shortstop. Plenty of time. Fires across for the out. So 2 middies are retired now with a run in as Glynn rounds out to the shortstop. And that'll bring up the number 5 hitter for Drake-it, senior Daniel Gasek, the shortstop. Gasek grounded out to the 3rd baseman in the 1st inning, walked and scored in the 3rd, reached on a fielder's choice in the 4th. Fouls that ball. Catcher caught a little piece of that. Got a little shaken up by that. Take another look at that. Gasek got a little piece of that in it. You can see where it caught the catcher. Still in the process of shaking that off. Caught it down in the shin area. And you know, despite all the protection that the catchers have with the shin guards, the mask, and the chest guard, those foul balls have a way of still finding their mark. So we're ready to resume. Count no balls and 1 strike to Dan Gasek. Oliveira sets the pitch. It's in the dirt and gets by. That'll even the count up at 1-1. We are in the bottom of inning number 6. Drake it up 8-0. And Dan Gasick takes that pitch just a little bit up high. Good eye. Puts the count 2 balls and a strike. Oliveira, the 2-1. Is in there for a call strike. That evens up the count now 2-2. That's fouled out to the left side. Not handled cleanly by Drake head coach Steve Talbot, but no harm done. Chad Oliveira on the mound for the Tewksbury Redmen. Stares in, gets his sign. Here's the 2-2. Fouled out to the left side as Gasick stays alive. Time is called by Gasick. Pitcher taking just a little bit more time than he'd like. And we'll try again. The 2-2. Change-up pitch is hit as a fly ball to right field. Right fielder over there making the play no problem. That's Ryan Morris. And the Middies do manage to score an insurance run and take an 8-0 lead as we have played 6 complete here at Drake High School. Top of the 7th inning as the Drake Middies are leading 8-0. Swing and a miss as we have a new batter, Joseph Cave. Joe Cave's a senior. Swing and a miss. No balls and 2 strikes, the count on Cave. Sean Nugent with the 0-2. That's going to be low for a ball. So Sean Nugent looking to earn his 2nd win and a complete win at that, and a shutout. So he's got a lot going for him right now as the Middies are looking to improve to 3-2. There's a soft line drive. Left fielder playing short. Handles it no problem. As taken in that time is Drake left fielder Ryan Talbot. So the first batter is retired, Joe Cave. And that'll bring up number 19, Matthew Perron. Pitch taken high for a ball. Two balls, no strikes. Perron is 0 for 2 in the day. Flew out to center field in the 2nd inning, grounded out to the shortstop Gasick in the 5th inning. So he's looking for a hit. The Tewksbury Redmen down to their last 2 outs here in the top of the 7th inning. That pitch is taken high for a ball. So 3 balls, no strike now the count to Matthew Perron. He's a sophomore. Sean Nugent has pitched a really nice game. And that's in the dirt. So Nugent may be starting to run out of a little bit of steam here. We'll see if Coach Talbot opts to do anything. We're certainly not worried about the lead, just whether or not his pitcher is tired or not. So drawing the 1-out walk, Matthew Perron. And that'll bring up number 9, Christopher Blimberg. First pitch is in for a call strike. Blimberg called out looking on strikes in the 2nd inning and then flew out to the left fielder back in the 5th inning. So 1 out, 1 runner aboard, top of the 7th, swing and a miss for a strike. So Nugent up 0-2 in the count to Blimberg. The DH, he's a sophomore. Nugent looks over his shoulder at the runner, and this ball comes right up, almost hits us. As our rooftop cameraman Ian Dobbs was probably a little bit worried about that. I think I was more in danger as that ball was headed sort of in my direction, but made it to the top of the roof and not into the press box. That changeup pitch misses for a ball. So the count evens up now, 2 balls and 2 strikes to Christopher Blimberg. Runner takes a big lead. There's a fly ball, not hit very deep. Center fielder ranging over to right center, stays with us. The wind blows it to right, and taking it in is Middy's center fielder Fred Kozalski, basically in the right field position that time. So score that F8, and now the Drake and Middies are 1 out away from improving to 3-2, and Nugent an out away from his second win in a shutout. First pitch is in to Dominic Jolly. Dominic takes the first pitch for a ball. Dominic grounded out to the shortstop and also walked. Takes that pitch for a strike. So 1 ball and 1 strike the count to Dominic Jolly. Nugent sets. Swing and a miss. It's actually foul tipped into the mitt, so 1 ball and 2 strikes, and Nugent and the Middies are a strike away from victory. Matthew Perron of Tewksbury, the lone runner aboard here with 2 outs. Jolly asks for time, and it's granted. And we are set. Nugent with the 1-2. Fouled off, so Jolly stays alive, spoiling that one. We'll try it again. The 1-2. Change up, thought about it, but did not go. Checked his swing, didn't look even close from here. They did check off with Hansberry, the base umpire, but he did not go. So that evens the count, 2 balls and 2 strikes. The pitch from Nugent. And that just misses to load up the count, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Nugent was really looking for that one. No doubt Nugent just go right after the batter at this point with a strike. Sean sets. The runner goes 3-2. Down low and inside for ball 4. So Dominic Jolly draws a 2-out walk, allowing the runner to advance. Matthew Perron now in scoring position at second base. So Perron at second, Jolly at first. And that brings up Nolan Timmons. Nolan Timmons is 2 for 2 in the day, singled twice back in the 3rd and 5th innings. He's the freshman that they brought up, I believe, for this game, and so he is it's been one of the bright spots in this game. Not many bright spots for Tewksbury as Timmons takes a call strike. Timmons is the freshman second baseman, wearing number 17 for Tewksbury today. The 1-1. Line drive to the right fielder. This is going to do it. And that is it, as pulling it in, Tyler Roberge and the Drake and Middies have defeated the Tewksbury Redmen by a score of 8-0 here at Ryan Sayer Memorial Baseball Field at Drake Senior High School. It was a good win, great win for the Middies, who now improved to 3-2 in the season. The Tewksbury Redmen will go to 0-6 on the season. The loss will go to Travis McMurdo, who pitched 3 2/3 innings, giving up 7 of the 8 Middy runs. And the winning pitcher today, improving to 2-0, Sean Nugent, who pitched a complete shutout for Drake, and overall a solid win for this Middy team. So that will do it for the entire DATV Sports crew. I'm Gary Muse. We hope you've enjoyed DATV's coverage of Drake High School varsity baseball, and we'll see you next time.